Welcome to Mia the Passion News Show. I'm Mia Sines-Whitmore, your host, and joining me again is Daniel Hill. Welcome, Daniel.
Hi,
Our last segment that we spoke of was love versus evil, and Daniel is an NLP coach, and so we're going to get to learn all about the special nuances of that. I'm particularly interested because I've been told by a man I used to date that my ego is a little high at times, and so I want to control it. I've worked a lot, and I think that there's that word, because one of the things about ego is control, and so I, of course, like everyone, wants our life to be in perfect harmony, so perhaps I control too much. So, Daniel, we left off in another segment that we were so blessed to share of love versus ego. We were talking about, when we left off, about how my thoughts were. I wanted people to truly understand about feeling what they're reading and understanding as opposed to just spouting words. And you had said on the sideline that it's a perfect space or place for them at the moment. And that was an opening to me to realize and be grateful that we are, as I know, and as a coach I also know, we all are in our own place. I just think that it's beautiful how you presented that.
Okay, well, allow it to unfold. So there's that would suggest that you would wish to spur them on and wake them up and to move them further forward and to end their suffering and thus end yours. The only way it will work is through you personally awakening and a letting go of your own agenda. Because if there's nothing to, you even said this about clients, if there's nothing to fix, because you don't fix anybody, we don't fix anybody. All that, in fact, one of the lovely things from NLP, which actually Richard Bandler said, is that I don't fix anyone. I'm just giving people a greater expansion of their consciousness. So if we were to truly allow ourselves to expand our own consciousness, we would begin to let go and see that everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't take any action and that we don't participate in anything. But if we wish to teach, then teach and share, which is what love would do. So share knowledge and wisdom. And share what you have experienced. You know, the Gospels in the Bible means good news. So share your good news. Share what it is that has worked for you, that you feel and you're aware of. But come from here. Because the people who will listen are the people who are ready to listen. In the same as the proverb, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You cannot get those students to pay attention and listen in class if they do not want to. But what you can do is make the lesson really interesting. And what you can do is make it fun. Because really, it's one great big classroom. We're all teachers, you know, and we're all students. I had a conversation with a good friend yesterday about guru, you know, and guru is just Sanskrit for teacher. And to want to be a guru, or to, if you are a guru, if you end up getting into the ego of that you are a guru and, you know, you're there.
We're never there.
You're never there, exactly. And the fact that we're always learning, and that even those who are most awake, I think even Nelson Mandela, I heard a few years ago, was saying, I'm still learning every day. So it's to be open to that, and to a lot of NLP is actually I use it with my clients, which is using a hell of a lot of metaphor, which the unconscious really enjoys and really understands. If you're trying to communicate something to somebody, if you break something quite complex down into sort of, you know, I don't know, Look, imagine that I'm making a sandwich, and we've got consciousness as the bread, and we've got spirituality as the filling, and we've got I don't know. I'm just playing with words now, but it would be keeping it simple, which is what I like doing as well.
Keeping it simple, as you said, exactly, because if we make it more complex, like as we go back to the original question or concept that I presented to you, when people start to, I believe people need to study everybody, not just one. And as you said about guru, I love that, because I tell people I'm a teacher, but I'm also a student, because I'm always, just as you said, I'm always learning. I learn from my students, so thus they become my teacher and I become, we switch roles. And when you're in complete perfect harmony, that's the way it is. And I know the missing ingredient for your sandwich, it's love.
Oh, well, of course it is.
That's the mayonnaise.
That's the mayonnaise. Okay, absolutely.
The mayonnaise.
The dairy-free mayonnaise.
That's
absolutely.
Right.
It's the thing that gives it its specialness.
That's right. So, NLP, if you can explain for those who are interested and say, wow, there's a three-letter, what does it mean and what is it all about, and I don't want to be afraid of it, because sometimes in the spiritual growth people go whoa, because they're a little bit nervous. Some people say giddy up, give it to me right now, and some just say back off for a few minutes because they don't understand. So share with us what NLP is.
NLP, it means Neuro-Linguistic Programming. I don't particularly like that long name, but that's what it is. Mm-hmm. And neuro means brain, linguistic means language, and programming is suggesting that you're able to reprogram something. Anthony Robbins, who I studied for quite a long time, has his own version. He did it to prevent himself getting sued from the co-creators of NLP, namely Richard Bandler, but he calls this neuro-associative conditioning. But let's stick with NLP. NLP, well, there's many things under NLP. There's many. It's huge in that you could talk about it all day. But simplifying NLP, it means that nothing is fixed. It means that the map is not the territory, which means that as our brain says yes or no to certain things of what is possible and what is not possible, NLP is saying that our brain is the thing that creates the map. The territory is reality. And we could never experience, while looking at a map, what it's really like in reality. So let's say you look at a map and you're going to go on a walk somewhere, and you say, well, we're going to walk from there to there, and we can only get from there, and we can get to there, and But when you're actually in reality, you go, well, actually, we could climb that fence, and we could go here, and we could go there. So it's the wiring of our brain through conditioning and through trauma and through our learning that suggests what is possible and what isn't possible, and what is painful and what is pleasurable. So through using a variety of techniques, of which language is one, you can help someone to expand their model of the world and thus expand their consciousness of what is possible.
Beautiful. Isn't that what we do almost every day, those who are in the spiritual realm working and striving? So,
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. When I came into it, I kind of was learning it and thinking, this is common sense. And I remember speaking to the guy who was teaching me, and I think I was his star pupil because I'd done a lot of I listened to a lot of stuff already on this. So many audio programs, DVDs, things on the internet, books, and Absolutely. It was created in the 1970s by Dr. Richard Bandler and John Grinder, and they were studying therapists, three namely, really. So Virginia Satir, Gregory Bateson, Fritz Perls, and Dr. Milton Erickson, who was a psychiatrist, who was using hypnosis really to clinical hypnotherapy to facilitate change in his clients. And they were all going about it in a different way in order to be able to create change in people. And that was a bit weird, because one therapist would work a certain way in order to create change and was getting change, and another one was going the other direction in order to create change. But effectively, they were facilitating the shift within somebody's unconscious to expand their consciousness and to expand their awareness of what is possible. And it's since been taken into management training, it's in advertising, it's in marketing, and it's evolved so much more from its therapeutic home and birth. It was there before the 1970s in variety of forms, and that's my interpretation of it. And yes, there's many people in spirituality who are well aware of that, with the understanding of quantum physics as well, that we are energy, everything is energy, you just have to align the energy, as in the law of attraction. Like attracts like. And so thus you can create your own reality. That's really big now, and it's got taken off. But NLP was particularly, it's still big, and it is still very well known throughout the world. Probably less so than hypnosis and hypnotherapy. And EFT is really big now. I do EFT. But the grounding that I've had and the understanding in NLP enables me to be able to create shifts in clients, partly because I come from a place of knowing the reality that the person is speaking about is phenomenally limited and limiting. And so I see that client with their outcome having been manifested and realized already. Now, if you go about facilitating a shift within somebody with the utter conviction that they have the resources already, which is one of the presuppositions from NLP, to facilitate that shift within, guess what? They're more likely to create that shift.
They are.
Because you're believing in them, but also you're believing in the concept of what reality really is. And that is, it is just infinite. It's a playground.